being in the flow. Totally being in the flow. So I decided this time in the water shoes, because the water shoes I've been not enjoying the feeling of the barefoot on the rubber and plastic like sole. So I wore my merino wool socks, and it feels good. I have an ingrown toenail which is like bugging me, and it's like it's so sore, and I'm like, I can soak it in water, keep it wet, keep it moist, and keep it like growing so it grows straight. I keep imagining that I can influence the way it grows, even though I don't know if my brain did that or genetics did that or it was a mutation or what, but I'm working it. I'm working my toes and moving them and moving that big toe and pressing it down and hoping that toenail does the right thing. I have to work on that more in my mind than my body. And my body will do what my mind tells it to, or what my brain tells it to. Convincing my brain is the challenging part. Anyway, here we are crossing the Greenfield section, or the Leyden section of the Green River. Luna is tagging along. She really didn't want to get wet or didn't want to swim, but here she is. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, yes, Papa. Papa is enjoying this. Look at that stone. That looks like a pillar, and it just makes a beautiful formation, and it's totally liftable. Check that out. What a sweet thing. I don't feel like stealing anything, but there's a beautiful piece of stone. Beautiful. Anyway, there's that. And here we are. And I don't know what kind of hillside I'm getting into. Ooh, this is sawgrass. Nice. But I think if we just go up from here, I don't see any poison ivy over here. So that's a hopeful bit. But oh, there's some right there. That's a funny thing. There it is right there. So, oh, there's some over there too. Well, I want to get up there, so I see more here. You see, there's the tree. That's challenging to get up. This looks like a good spot here. Toe holds, branches, anything I can grab a hold of. Here we go. All right. Hey, Buna. I almost missed there's some fungus on here, Exidia recisa, which is dried up right now, but I was just noticing, like, oh yeah, Exidia recisa is out. There's always that. And that's wood ear, Exidia recisa. And it grows on primarily hardwood twigs, little twigs. So, and there's horsetail rush, or what is it called? It's got silica in it, and it can cut your fingers if you run the length of it. Equisetum, I think. There's a mushroom. There's some mushrooms. There's another mushroom. No idea what mushroom that is. It's gone by for sure. It looks like a Berkeley's polypore. I have no idea. Well, that looks pretty good. The hillside doesn't look too great. It doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. It's a dry hillside. Well, Luna's often running. Oh, look at that. There's a mushroom. I'm guessing that's a bolete. Yep, that's a bolete. Wabuda. Oh yeah. Oh, there is a sort of a divot in there. Yeah. Yep. There's a divot here. There's a wet area. There's a down in, and there's a bit of a shelf, a curve in, and a divot, a tight area. So let's look at that and look at all the pretty things between here and there. like that tree I just aimed at. I don't know if you could see it, but and this is an area in the river that collects, there's a berm on the other side, but it collects debris and piles up here. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I'm like, oh, okay, just go up. See if we can follow that divot a little bit. Up into whatever it turns into. Looks like some kind of ravine or a nook. Yeah, a little more greenery here. Of course, a fern collection is a good indicator. And then there's moss often. Well, I see a couple boulders in there. That's curious. I don't see much of a stream. And there's a little bit of a thing there too. I could follow and keep going up gradual and see where this goes. I don't know if it stays ledge or what. Curious though. Always good to just follow that curiosity that we have. Get off the beaten path and look around. It's fascinating. Life is fascinating. I don't know if this is an oyster. Well, looks like it could have been, but no, it's on a stem. I like to pick at things. Supposedly those are edible too. Those are, forget the name of them. It's a russell, I believe, and a red one. Hiker's mushroom or camper's mushroom, something like that. But here we are. Here we are in the middle of the woods. It's the hot, humid day. There's a purple something or other, deteriorated, gone by. I see a nut buried there. Acorn, see it? Yep. And this tree looks kind of dead. And there's some chunks of trees down, and just saying what I see. Just saying it. And I just stepped in a hole. There's another mushroom. So it's been damp. There are mushrooms. I'm looking at a big mushroom over there. And you see it just there. Luna crossed this path between me and Luna. Let's go take a look at that one. What is it? There's a yellow one on the way. But look at this one. Gosh. Wonderful. That looks like a bolete. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bolete for sure. I don't know which one it is. It's gone by anyway. Oh yeah, it's all full of insects. But this is the spongiosum on the bottom is really gills that go the other direction. They go sort of down this way, and then the spongy stuff. Insects come into it, either through the pith of the base of it where they make the contact, or they come in here, or they crawl in through the top or whatever, and then the insect will be sort of in here filling the cavity and consuming this pithy stuff until it's all riddled with the larva. And then at some point they'll crawl out and fly out and do their thing, or drop to the ground, or whatever they do, their next stage. I have no idea what kind of insects inhabit different mushrooms, and that's not something that I'm generally interested in. I don't care. I just care if the mushroom is edible or what condition it's in, and if it can be used to make more of itself, replicate and do its thing, or if it needs help, or if I'm gonna, whatever, figure out what kind it is and take it home, or all of that. There's some interesting trees in this area, and again, we're continuing to see it's too steep to get to. I'm gonna keep walking along here, and we're not very far from the river. it's there. The road is down below, so I can sort of keep going along here. I see a light spot up there. I don't know how far I'll get. I'm interested in just sitting and enjoying myself as well, but with all the noise, it's nice to step away from that and back into the woods and remember who I am. That tree right there has a gouge out of it. It was probably a branch at some point, or maybe it snapped off in a very tall, wet storm. Some of the root system around here indicates that these trees, and seeing how they're bent, and there's a channel here, and all this stuff is sort of, that the river does actually come up this high. It's potentially comes up here, which is, sometimes you see a root system which sticks up a little bit more closer to the water because of erosion, and also because the tree is latching on it in a different way. So there are a couple doing that. And throughout this space, there's one over there with a knot on it, suggesting that some of these and some of the broken ones and so forth in this area may get struck by lightning or high wind and get knots and that kind of stuff in them. So many things to look at. There's a stone here that's entirely out of place. It's on top of the leaves, which makes me think there's another one that either they're rolling down off the hillside, or that other people come up in here and they throw stones. And as I look back, I'm like, oh, there's a wonderful mushroom. There's another one, there's another one, there's another one. There's one over there. Those are the same boletes, and I again, I don't think we've got anything that's in really good shape. They're kind of gone by. That one just broke off really well. So these are, again, boletes. I forget which one. I actually don't know which one, but it's a big brown bolete. It has a sort of a purple gill. That is quartz, my friend. So a wonderful chunk of quartz. It looks like it was smashed open. I love coming across old quarries and so on. There's another bolete. That one's in better shape. But I'm not going to take it down, but it's got some damage to it. There's another one. There's another one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what we're looking at. Those mushrooms. So we're in a slightly different forest. We're gone from sort of deciduous into mixed hemlock, and start to see different things in just the makeup of so the ferns, for instance, we changed to a more hardy fern, which is a Christmas fern. There are other things that are a little more, so instead of ferns and raspberries and that kind of thing, you start to see some of the hardwood saplings and whatnot in the edge of the forest. And the mushrooms and the leaves and all the crunchy stuff, all that good stuff. I could stand somewhere in Partridgeberry, and there's a younger one right there, and get totally distracted by everything within 30 feet of where I'm standing. Or I could just choose to ignore things to the best of my ability and walk past them if I could. There's an interesting stick. That's such an interesting shape, I think. At the end of the stick, it could be like all kinds of things. It's really kind of fascinating. Yeah, anyway. That's like is that a heart shape? Yeah, I'd say so. That's a big heart shape. That's cool. Yeah, that's an interesting root system with a little gnome home in it. We have a little bit more of a ledge here. Oh, I don't know what those are. Something hoof, and there's something down there on the edge of that. And I don't know, those look like they could be oysters. I'm gonna go and have a closer look. If they're oysters, I'm taking them home. Taking them home. That looks like maple, so Yeah, those actually look like oysters. Nice. Pearl oyster. Yes, I am taking those home. Definitely cool. So yeah, this is a maple that has fallen clearly. This is the rest of it. So it's got a different kind of thing over there, different fungus entirely. It's got false turkey tail here, it goes up a ways, and that usually overtakes pretty much anything. But it doesn't compete with, and you can see each of these mushroom or each of these species has taken hold on the tree and is doing its thing, and it's wonderful to see again the the uh, the edible one in really good shape. So I am going to forage that. I usually carry paper bags, but this is about a quarter pound of really beautiful oyster. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked. If this is all I get today, I'm totally stoked. Half a pound of oyster to me is worth like 30 bucks. Wild oyster is just delish. It is absolutely delish. So there's that. I guess I'm just gonna keep walking here and see what else I find, because you never know where there's going to be a downed maple tree and in what condition it's gonna be in. So, you know, yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at this. I see a path. There's a mushroom. I don't know which one that is. Is that a? I don't know if that's an edible or not. Probably not. No, doesn't look like it. But the path goes over that direction. It goes over this direction, and it cuts in and goes up. And it looks like a thing. It surely is. It's a path. So we've reached a way of getting up and over if I wanted to follow the path, which I don't. There's this beautiful basin over here, which makes me think that really is a stream or rivulet or something along those lines coming down here. Here's a beautiful old cherry. I don't know much about what inhabits cherries. There's a rock stuck in a tree over there that looks like a, I was gonna say a beech? Maple? I'm not sure. No, it's not a maple. Beech? I think it's a beech. Kind of a beech. At the bottom of a beech is where one might find, of course, at the bottom of many big trees, one might find. Oh, look at that! It really is. It really is an inflow, and there's nothing in it, but look at that. It's quite sizable. So along the banks of wet areas like that, chanterelles, I mean, there are all kinds of possibilities. This area is definitely worth checking out too. I see a number of mushrooms here, and I see a red one in the middle of things. I was like, was that a berry? No, that's a mushroom. There's some really bright ones in here, and I just want to go along the wood and pick along stuff and see if I see any other. I see a mushroom down here, another bolete, this brown, big brown one. There's a red one in here. There's all kinds of stuff. It also looks like a little camp that somebody set up and left all their gear here, along with jumper cables for something. Who comes back here and then sets up all this stuff and just disappears? Yeah, like I said, it's a polluted area, and human interactions here are a thing along the Green River, and messiness and irresponsibility. It's quite, it makes me feel really kind of stupid as a human being. I just feel like we're just fucking stupid. We're so stupid. Why? Why can't we just do the basics? Do them. Is it because it's all gonna go to shit anyway? I mean, but what kind of attitude is that? All right, enough philosophy. I don't see much on this, although I do see a couple mushrooms right here in the front. I think they're the same ones that I had before. They look a little more ghostly, which says to me that they're in their spore. And those are those same boletes, I believe. I see some interesting things farther up, but I'm not sure if it's a mushroom or just another thing sticking up somewhere. It looks like a pine cone, like, you know, up there. It could also be the end of a log or a leaf or a chunk of something. I see other dark spots up there and I don't know what they are. Interesting. Yep, I could go after it or I could just keep walking. Yep. Yep. Just kept walking. Maple. More maple. I don't see anything else on these, but you never know. Sometimes it's just when you stop looking for it, that's when you find things. Look at the edge of these. They have quite the stream down here, and there is water down there. There's probably a little farther on, and the greenery has come up in. Likely there are vines and all kinds of stuff crawling up and trying to get to the water. But I'm just gonna head up. Why not? You know, let's just see where this goes. This is an interesting thing. I love finding, like, all right, woodpeckers are thinking all kinds of things. Like, we're gonna drill this way and this way. And then the ants do it, and the ants get in there, and like, it's a trip. And this stuff just falls apart easily or crumbles apart. And these are very much like puzzle pieces. There's another one, just beautiful. And it, you know, all torn apart like this. It could be that a bear was over here, you know, rooting around and digging at stuff and pulling it out. It could be that a woodpecker was hammering it apart. It could be all kinds of things were hammering it apart. Or trying to, I just got a bug bite. I don't know which bug that was, but I'll step into the arena where I'm not influenced by fighting ants, should that be one. But it's interesting to, you know, just follow instinct and keep going up into curiosity. Where does curiosity lead me? It's a little bit cooler here, that's for sure. It's a sort of a collectively cool spot with the stones, and it'd be interesting to find pools or a source somewhere up above, or not to find that kind of thing either. But curiosity is drawing me up the ravine. So the Green River's down there, and who knows what's up there. There's a nice breeze coming down, that's for sure. You could probably hear it on the microphone. So I was curious who I would send this to and who I would include in this invitation to explore a walkabout a little more deeply. Oh, look, there's some mushrooms. There's one that's totally broken down. There's another one. The boletes again, sort of in this space in between, and it's really down in. And now I'm really off the beaten path here. A little bit steep. A little bit steep and a little bit hairy. Oh, there's actually running water here. Very nice. Check that out. It's a trickle. And I can see up above, there's another one and a trickle. Somewhere up in here, there's a pool. Look at the root system on that. Look, Buna, water. That's right, you can drink it, boo-boo. And as I look over, I'm like, oh, look at this. This is a white, what do you call it? Club fungus sticking out of the moss here. So that indicates to me that there's the potential to have and to see other things. And this is going to be really challenging to navigate. So I'm looking at going sort of around here, underneath stuff, over this, or maybe around there. I think I'm going to just go up here, get in there, cross over, go up above that, and get into that basin, whatever that is, and then probably just continue to go up into these basins and see what's there. This is nice cold water, by the way. And as I'm like crossing this, I'm like, cool, there's a spider right there. Somewhere in there, there's a spider. And these are, I believe, tunneling sheet spiders, or tunneling, I forget what they are. You can look them up. Funnel weaver. Sheet making funnel weaver that's on the edge of field and stream. They're mostly in fields. They make, among the grass, they make funnels back and in. This is a beautiful flat piece of stone. It probably would make noise if I stood the wrong way on it. There's a stream right there coming out of the stones, out from behind stuff, following that ledge or around there. That looks like an easy enough ledge to climb up. It has lots of hooks on it, but I want to make it easy for the dog. So I could do that too, but there's a lot of debris. I don't want to climb that too much. So this is doable. That's doable. I guess I should go above that tree. Okay. Use the tree as a brace. And then there's this nice big root system. And I can pick this tree up and get it out of the way. There's a beautiful pool right there, and I know who's going to plop themselves down in it as soon as they get an opportunity. My little munchkin, Luna. And this is almost stuck in there. Now it's not. Nice little place to plop down. And there's another spot there. Ready, boo-boo? Come here. Come here. Come over here. There you go. Lie down. Lie down in it. There you go, sweetheart. I tell you, it really doesn't take much. And she's sticking her head back into and under the rock. It's just such sweet bliss. It's freshwater. It's murky, but it's freshwater. How's that, baby? Yeah. What she wants to do with that is get her nose into where it's trickling. Here, come here. No, I know you're here. Come here. There's better. Come up here. I know you want to do that. Come here. Come over here. Right there. Right there. Here. There you go. Go up to it. Get up there. Get up there. So, making some real headway. No telling where this is coming from. Likely underground, somewhere up above. I don't know how much farther I'm gonna go other than this ledge. It's a good stopping place. It's a little bit buggy, but I could clear these up a little bit, stick my feet in and ice my feet a little bit, particularly my ingrown toenail. Shake off, Luna. Shake off. That's her thing. So I'm going to stop the video for now. I hope you have a wonderful day and have a wonderful life as well, exploring New England or otherwise, wherever you are. Cheers.